Alright, what's going on, guys? So today in for repair I have an LG MS345. Now I don't know the exact name for it. I'm sure I could look it up. Sorry. That's what I'm going to be repairing. Sorry, I'm just kind of distracted by my Facebook page right now. I'm trying to just make a post. Alright, so bear with me a minute, guys. LG MS. It's every time I go to change my emojis, it brings me to a whole different page. It doesn't make any sense. Wonder how many times it's going to do that. Okay, there we go. What just happened? What just happened? I went through all that just wow. All right, let's post that. Okay, there we go. So we got that posted. Let's copy that. That way I don't have to. Nope, I can't do it that way. All right, so let's move on, guys. So here's the board that we're going to be repairing. All right, just wanted to show you guys that. Let's get back to this. Yeah, here's the board. There is a microphone on this side, and I showed previously before what I usually do when it comes down to stuff that have these, small components next to it. When the charging ports do, I tape them off. That's that's your best bet, is just to tape them off. And just like the previous one, I'm going to use that same board holder, and I'm going to do the same trick where I kind of, not trick, but I'm not going to let the whole board sit on the board holder. I'm going to put it off to the side like that so you guys can see it. And this port It might be the same one that I have out right here. Just double check. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we still have those 2 big ground pins. Like I said, so this charging port right here, this and this, we don't have to have those 2 connectors in there in order for this thing to work properly. These are ground, just as these are ground, so we don't have to leave them in. We can do without them, and this phone will still charge and function like always. It's probably just good support. That's probably all it is. But either way, let's see if we can get a port that's very close to that one. Don't know if I will find that port. And if I don't, I have a substitute for it. And maybe I did, so. This one looks like it can work. Right? What do we think about this one? Right? Yep, that looks about right. Yep. All right, so we found a port. All right, so this one is gonna be a mix of hot air and me using my soldering iron because I like to do it safe. This is a lot safer to do it this way. I put less heat on the board. So let's go ahead and let's start this process. Let's get some of this in there. Oh, fume extractor. It's the purpose of, having this nice expensive machine if I'm not going to use it. Okay. Too much light. At least that's what it looks like in this camera. It just looks like a lot of light, so I'm turning that down a little bit. And you can see how this effect works right here, where you take your soldering iron, right, and you just lay it on top of the port with some solder on it. And with some patience, this whole thing should heat up. You can see it running. See the heat transfer happening. Let's put some more on here. So this is one way you can do it. It just takes a little bit more patience. But then you have less worries as far as, the microphone goes, putting too much heat on the microphone, anything like that. You don't really have to worry so much about them. Give me 1 minute. Okay, we'll try it like this. Side over here doesn't really want to come out. And there we go. It's out. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we got that port out. Let's go ahead and let's clean up this mess here so you guys can see what's going on. It seems like every time I start a live stream, customers show up. And nothing wrong with the customers or anything like that, but it always seems like it's the longest, you know, that I'm usually gone for is during those times. Other times, seems like it's always fast. But when I go live, it's no longer fast anymore. Takes all day. Because the issue has been amplified by the wave of the internet. Alright, let's finish up here. Clear out this hole right here. Maybe you have to clear this one out on the other side. Alright, so here's a situation that you might run into. And you're probably wondering, what do you do? This is what I do. Add solder. Rub it in. And then wick it out. When it doesn't want to move, that means that more than likely it's on this other side. So let's try this other side over here. A little bit better. Get a little bit more in here. And there we go. Clear, just like that. Okay, let's clean up. And this, like I said, is probably the safest way. If you don't have to worry about all the small components being damaged by your work. So I didn't have to worry about knocking off this. Like the last time I did the other one where I used the hot air, you know, it did affect those, and those components moved around a little bit. You know, and if you haven't been doing this a while, you know, that's scary. Once you start seeing components move, I remember when I first, you know, started doing these and I saw components move, I thought, you know, it's all over with. Done. The phone is done. I'm done. I failed. But that wasn't the case. Because most of it was able to be put back in place. I just didn't know that, and I was just more worried about it than anything else because I didn't want to ruin the customer's phone. You know, even with tons and tons of practice, I mean, at some point or another, you have to do this for real. And when you have to do it for real, it's different from practice. You know, it's like anything else. It's completely different once you go doing the real thing. You know, you can practice the same thing over and over again, and then when it's time to actually do it for real, it's like, oh man. Either A, it's not what you expected, or which usually that's what it usually is, or whether it's more or less, it's still not what you expected, right? Definitely not what I expected when I first started doing these repairs. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's put some flux down, and thought it fell on the ground. Nope. So flux all around. Share the flux. Okay, there we go. I'll put a little bit of solder on my tip. Some people say not to do this. But this seems to work. Kind of bump them like that. Okay, and that should do it for those. So let's fill these holes on. Let's we go. And let's over here, let's fill these ones also. And I think that should be it. I mean, this video took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. But it's all good. Look on this side. That looks, I mean, I don't have to touch that up, but we'll go ahead and touch them up. There we go. And I'm just gonna flatten them out a little bit more. Just like that. And there we go. Those are all flattened and they look nice. They look factory, I guess that's what you'd call it. Okay, let's clean up here. Let's peel the tape off. Just like that. And let's clean up the rest. Have no bridging right here. That's good. All right, when we look inside here, no bridging. All of those look like they're solid on the board. They don't look like they're going anywhere at all. So not really worried about them right now. Just, but let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. That won't look like it was moving, but maybe it's not. All right, guys. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.